I love American Horror Story. Well, that would be a lie. I used to love American Horror Story. In fact, I was obsessed with it. I used to lurk Facebook, Twitter, all these places to look for any crumbs that Ryan Murphy might give us about the next season's theme, what actors were returning. Like, I was in it. Well, the past few seasons have been a bit sad because the show hasn't been that great, okay? And my interest has sort of waned. But that doesn't mean that I don't have opinions about the seasons. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to rank all the American Horror Story seasons, because even though I keep hating, I keep coming back to watch them, okay? It's like a toxic relationship now. I need to watch this show till the end. I'm still gonna complain, but I'm still gonna watch, because that's just how it is. All right, without further ado, let's start the rankation, okay? And let me warn you, if you are a Freakshow hater, you are not going to like this list at all. And if you are a Coven lover, you are also going to hate me. Not because Coven is like low in the list, it's pretty high, but I feel like a lot of people expect it to be higher. Well, I'll tell you why. I will give you my reasons for why I placed things at a certain number, and I will plead my case. So without further ado, let's get to the ranking, and please be nice to me in the comments, okay? Disagree, but be nice. I'm just a human. Cause I know you AHS girlies like to get down and dirty. At number 12, we have the latest season, Delicate. I hate this season. I don't know how to be constructive. I genuinely despise this season. I hate it. Emma Roberts feels like she is sleepwalking throughout this entire thing. Where is the Emma Roberts that we loved as Madison Montgomery? Where is she? In fact, every other actor in this season is either underutilized or barely putting any effort. Was the paycheck low? Like, did it not arrive? Like, what was going on? Why was nobody putting any effort? Your season has a problem if Kim Kardashian outacts your professional actors. Let's be so serious. Like, why was she the best part of this entire thing? And I'm not even a Kim K fan. Like, she was kind of playing herself, I guess, in a way. She was at least trying. This was her first TV gig. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to put some effort. Emma Roberts might not be doing anything, but I will try. And also, sorry, but I could not finish this season. I know I said before that I've seen every season. I lied. I have not finished this season. I watched, I think, the first 4 episodes. Then I forgot about it. And then it was too late. And then I came back and I read that everybody was mad about the finale. So I just didn't care. Also, AHS, we need to let go of the witches. We can't just be bringing witches in every season. We already did it in Coven and we did it brilliantly. We did it flawlessly. Why are we bringing witches again? Also, I'm tired with pregnancy arcs in this show. Everybody's getting pregnant with Satan. Everybody's getting pregnant with like some demon. I'm tired. I know, Ryan Murphy, you love Rosemary's Baby, but how many times are going to try to bring that out? Vivian already got pregnant in Murder House and she gave birth to the Satan. Like, we already have that. Why is Emma Roberts getting pregnant again? Stop with the fertility pregnancy thing. Don't care. Don't do it again. I hated it. I hate this season. Sorry, this feels like a rant because it is. I genuinely despise this season. At number 11, we have Double Feature. I know technically this is 2 seasons, but they gave it to us as 1 season, I guess. So I'm going to put this on the list as a one thing. The first 4 episodes of Red Tide is great. In fact, that one episode where Lily Rabe's character like turns into the creature, fantastic. Lily Rabe's acting is fabulous. That is what AHS is all about. Good acting, tragic story. It was phenomenal. In fact, the ending of Sarah Paulson's character and Macaulay Culkin's character, like, phenomenal. I cried. Well, I didn't cry, but, you know, I got teary-eyed. But then what happened? The ending of that season, what? Did the writers get some kind of brain aneurysm and they decided to just shit on all of the goodwill that they had built over the first 4 episodes? Like, what went wrong? How do you waste Frances Conroy giving a very cunty performance? Like, how do you waste her like that? And don't even get me started on Death Valley. one of the worst things I've ever seen. They said, oh, let's take all the conspiracy theories that we can think of and put it in a season, and then they forgot to write an actual script that ties everything together. Why was Marilyn Monroe there? Why was Amelia Earhart there? I hated it. It was bad. And I know a lot of people also hated it. So tell me in the comments what you hated about it. Let's be nasty. This part of this season pissed me off. I waited every week for this. Oh my god. Even thinking about it, it actively pissing me off. Like, what happened to the show that gave us cunty monologues? Like, what happened to that show that looked so beautiful? This season looked ugly. People were talking like stupid people. Even Sarah Paulson was giving a bad performance. Like, you are doing something wrong if Sarah Paulson is giving a bad performance. Oh my god. I'm mad, actually. Ryan Murphy, you need to compensate us. Like, why would you force us to watch this? At number 10, we have NYC. I low-key forgot about this season, and by the looks of it, I think the makers did too, because if I remember correctly, the promo for this season arrived 2 days before it was supposed to air, or something like that, and then they dropped 2 episodes every week. They just wanted to get rid of this season. I didn't care for this. I know this was like a personal story, and I know it was important, right? 80s and the AIDS crisis, like, it was a very important story. But I think that there are shows that have done this story better and in a more impactful way. I mean, Pose, hello. So yeah, I just didn't connect to this season as much as I should have. I thought the characters were just not as memorable as other seasons. I just didn't care for it. And even the horror parts of it, you know, it just didn't feel as good as it should have been. Because the premise was interesting. I mean, when you think of American Horror Story, in the 80s, so many queer people died because, you know, they weren't getting proper care. That is a horror story. We lost so many of our people. I just wish that this story got a better season. I appreciate the effort, you know, but I just didn't love it as much as I should have. And I know there are people who love it, and that's fine. That's amazing. I'm glad that you were able to connect with it. I just didn't. If you guys haven't seen Pose, everybody should watch that show. At number 9, we have Apocalypse. Not to sound like a hater, because so far I've not been nice. I did not enjoy this season as much as other people did. Now, listen. There are some parts here that I do enjoy. I think the Return to Murder House episode is great. I love that they brought Myrtle Snow back. I think she is one of my favorite characters in this entire franchise. I love Myrtle Snow. I just think that this season sort of builds up to nothing. Like, we start off at the bunker. I love the atmosphere. I love these characters. I love Stu is Stu. Oh, the Stu is... But then they go back in time to show us how things ended up where they are. And it just takes so long. The entire season is just wasted on that. When we should be focusing on the battle. I really thought the final battle was going to be the last 3 episodes. It was going to be the psychological warfare. And it just ended in like 20 minutes. Like, come on. We were building up to something. At least give us that fight. Give us that witches versus Satan. Like, come on. Sarah Paulson has this one hardcore line in the final episode. She says,
Satan has one son, but my sisters are legion, motherfucker.
I think that, put that everywhere. Put that on billboards. That was fantastic. I just wish that the flashbacks took like 3 episodes and then rest of the season came back in the present and we actually saw the fight. We actually saw the witches preparing, you know? The time travel thing is cool. Maybe Mallory has to do like a different type of trial to actually be ready. They showed some of that, but it was just too quick. It was like a flash. I see a lot of potential in this season. If they had let it marinate a little bit, I think this would have been one of the best seasons. I mean, Murder House, Coven collabing, it was bound for greatness, right? It was destined for great things, but it just didn't go where it should have gone. And number 8, 1984. I don't really have anything much to say about this season. I was expecting it to be more like the TV show Slasher, and it was to some extent like that, but it ended up being more like Murder House. You know, people die in the camp and then they come back as a ghost. Which, don't get me wrong, very entertaining. It just wasn't what I was expecting. Also, if you're gonna do an 80s based homage to the slasher genre, please don't use CGI blood. Don't use CGI effects. Okay, so much of this season had that. And I know that they were in a rush. They were like still producing episodes while the season was airing, so there was a rush. Just take your time. Like, just do practical effects. Come on. You're doing 80s. You're doing that flair. You're sort of riding that 80s slasher wave. Give us authenticity. This might be like a nitpick thing. Just for that reason alone, I cannot bring myself to love it. With that being said, absolutely killer flashback episode with Lily Rabe. She is always welcome. At number 7, Roanoke. I don't really have much to say about this season. I enjoyed the found footage aspect. I think that was something fresh, something new. And it is a part of horror, right? It is a subgenre of horror. And it's a beloved subgenre. So why not bring it in American Horror Story? I know a lot of people were put off by that, but I enjoyed it. I was spooked. I find found footage movies to be very scary. So for me, the second half of Roanoke was pretty spooky. The only thing though that pisses me off is when they randomly ditch the found footage aspect in the final episode of Roanoke. It's my biggest pet peeve whenever movies and TV shows ditch found footage aspect for no reason, randomly, it pisses me off. If you pick a style, stick with it. If you're gonna ditch it, give me a reason why. It disgusts me. Also, Sarah Paulson just went, Matt. Love that. Love that. And number 6, Cult. I do enjoy what they were trying to go for with this season. Reality was scary, so why not just make it an American Horror Story season, right? That is pretty spooky. And I do enjoy what they did with it. I think the first half of this season is a bit redundant with Sarah Paulson always crying, the misplaced humor. But the second half really finds itself when Sarah Paulson's character starts taking revenge. Oh my goodness, that was glorious. I think that scene where she poisons her wife, fantastic, right? Also, Frances Conroy, who appears in I think 2 episodes, gives one of the best performances I've seen in this entire franchise. She is so fabulous. I think her scenes are a great indicator of what makes AHS so good. The dramatic monologue, the over-the-top performances, that's what we love. That scene with Frances Conroy is where the show was taking its labored breaths, and then the Apocalypse season is where the show actually died. And number 5, Hotel. When Lady Gaga was announced to be in this season, I was so excited. Abracadabra Unana, time stopped for me, and Countess was everything I had hoped for. Larger than life, regal, fabulous. I was obsessed. The season itself though is a little messy. I think there's a lot of subplots that gets introduced but then goes nowhere. Like that one storyline where Chloe Sevigny's character turns a kid into a vampire, and then that kid turns a bunch of other kids into a vampire, and then they sort of end that plot line by just trapping the kids in the walls. Okay? It just felt like they were building up to like a bigger problem, but then they were like, you know what, never mind. I do enjoy that the last half of the season focuses a lot on Liz Taylor. That was the best decision they could have ever made, because Liz Taylor to me is everything. Her friendship with Iris, really great. The last episode I sobbed. Overall, I think Hotel is very pretty to look at. It's also a very entertaining season. I love rewatching it again and again. The production design of this season is insane. This whole building, oh my goodness. I'm pretty sure they probably took the whole sets down, but they should do like a walk-in thing where fans could like go in and live in that hotel, because I would do it. Addiction Demon, very dark, but I think underexplored. Like, I wanted to know more. It was an interesting creature design, and I don't know, I just felt like there was a lot of things that they could have done with that, but they just chose not to. But yeah, overall, like, I think this was a great season. I like this season. I love rewatching it. And number 4, Coven. I know you're probably getting mad because Coven wasn't in the top 2. It's just a matter of preferences, I guess, because I genuinely love Coven. I just love the other 3 seasons more, if that makes sense. I mean, witches doing witchy stuff. What's there not to love, right? Fiona Good, iconic. Myrtle Snow is probably the best character of AHS. Fight me on that. Frances Conroy should have won an Emmy for this. She's epic. The one-liners, The way she speaks, oh my goodness. Misty Day, Mother, Madison, iconic. Great season. I could watch this now and still enjoy it as much as I did when I was watching it the first time. I know a lot of people's obsession with AHS started with this one, and you know what? Valid. Great season. Iconic. It's like Mean Girls but with witches. Like, come on, what's there not to love? And number 3, Freakshow. I love this season. I can defend it all day, all night. In fact, I'm planning on doing a deep dive into this season pretty soon, so please stay tuned for that. It's going to be a great video. I don't know, I love the themes of this season. I love the characters. I love the amount of effort they put into this. I mean, the Bet and Dot effect is seamless, right? At that time, TV still had honky-ponky CGI. And the fact that Bet and Dot effect looks so good, even now when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh my goodness, the amount of time they took to do this. AHS would never put that much effort now. Truly, we had it so good. We really did. This season is also very emotional. That Pepper episode, oh my god, even thinking about it makes me choke up a little bit. The twisty backstory, the ending, everything is emotional. I know they sang a lot, but Jessica Lange singing "In the Land of Gods and Monsters" changed me. I have her version of Life on Mars on repeat. I'm not going to say much about this season because I'm going to keep it for the deep dive, so be on the lookout. That's going to be a good video. And number 2, Murder House. I mean, this is where my obsession with AHS started. I just love how they put their own spin on the haunted house genre. The house felt like a real character. The amount of history we got about the house, I was obsessed. Especially when they included Black Dahlia. Oh my god. I was gooped and gagged. I was 12 when I first watched this season, and when it was revealed that Violet was already dead, oh my god, I was not expecting that. It blew my mind. This season will always get its 10s from me. The show is like right up my alley, you know? Women doing long monologues, older actresses being bitchy. What's there not to love? This is a fantastic season. If you don't like this season, check yourself into an Asylum, which is our number 1. That was a great segue. At number 1, Asylum. I don't know, there's just something about asylums that always spook me out. I also love how unhinged this season is. I mean, there's a whole plot line where a woman thinks that she is Anne Frank, and then there's a killer Santa Claus, a nun who is possessed by a demon, aliens. This season has everything. Also, the whole Lana Banana storyline is probably one of the best written arcs in television history, in my opinion. I didn't know who Sarah Paulson was before this season. I mean, she was in season 1 a little bit, but I just didn't pay attention. I became a fan. Her performance is fabulous. Lily Rabe is also pretty great. I am so happy that Ryan Murphy decided to give them bigger parts because probably the best decision he's ever made. Frances Conroy as Angel of Death, they were cooking. They were cooking with gas. Great monologues in this season too. Jessica Lange really chews the scenery. The squirrel monologue, fabulous. The random song and dance number, funny, iconic. People still talk about it. Pepper, bo pepper, banana, fana, fo pepper. I don't know what else there is to say. This is a phenomenal season. So that is my ranking. I don't think it's going to be that divisive, but if it is, then let me know in the comments what you disagree with. And also let me know what your favorite season is, because my favorite season might not be your favorite season and your favorite season might not be mine, because that's the beauty of AHS. There's something for everybody. Also, in this video, I didn't really go deep into the seasons. It was more surface level, I guess. But in the future, I am definitely going to make more detailed videos about AHS because I love talking about the show. The Freakshow video, I'm definitely working on that. That is going to be a long, good video. And anyways, if you liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the bell icon. Ooh, I've always wanted to say that.